Hey everyone, today we're diving into a challenge I think every single educator has faced. The student who's staring at a book, but not really seeing it. We're going to build a toolkit to help transform that passive page scanning into a full-on, active investigation.
I mean, really think about it. You know the scene, right? The book is open, their eyes are moving across the page, but is anything actually sinking in? Is the brain fired up, or are they just looking at words? That's the question we're tackling today.
And this right here is the heart of the matter. You've got passive reading, where info just kind of washes over a student in one ear and out the other, leaving almost no trace. But then you have active reading, and that is a totally different ballgame. It's a conversation with the text, a real dialogue where students think, they question, and they make connections.
So how do we make that jump? How do we get them from passive to active? Well, here's the trick. We stop treating active reading like some vague concept, and we start giving them specific, concrete duties. You see, when a student has a clear job to do, they're no longer just an audience member. They're a participant in the story. And these duties? They start with getting physical with the text. I'm serious. We're talking 3 simple but incredibly powerful actions. Literally marking up the text, using a simple set of symbols to track their thoughts, and of course, writing their own ideas right there in the margins. This is where reading stops being a look, don't touch activity. Let's look closer at those symbols. Think of this like a secret code for their brain. A check mark means, yep, I get this. A question mark means, I'm curious about this. All of a sudden, the margin of the page becomes a visible map of their thinking process. They're not just reading words, they're reacting to them in real time. Okay, so once students are physically in the game, it's time to level up their thinking. We're going to equip them with some cognitive strategies. Think of it as their very own detective's kit for digging out the deeper meaning in a text. Tool number 1 in that kit is making inferences. And this is so important. It's the art of reading between the lines. It's about teaching students to be text detectives, to use the clues the author leaves behind to figure out what they aren't saying directly. It's a total game changer for comprehension. All right, next up in the kit is a skill that is, frankly, a survival skill in the 21st century. Telling the difference between a fact and an opinion. A fact is something you can prove, right? It's verifiable. An opinion, on the other hand, is a personal judgment. Knowing how to separate these two is absolutely crucial for critical thinking. Let's just look at a quick example to make this crystal clear. Dr. Zewail got the Nobel Prize. Is that a fact or an opinion? It's a fact. We can look it up, we can verify it. But what about the movie was interesting? Well, that's a pure opinion. It's what someone thinks. It can't be proven true or false. Getting students to see this distinction is just so powerful. Another essential detective tool is zeroing in on the main idea. This is like the compass for any piece of writing. We want our students to be able to step back and confidently answer that one big question. Okay, what is this text really about? If they can do that, they've got it. And we don't just leave them hanging. We give them a strategy, a sort of treasure map. We teach them to hunt for clues. Look at the title. Check out the headings. What's that first sentence in the paragraph saying? Are any words or ideas popping up over and over again? These are the breadcrumbs that lead right to the main idea. And speaking of clues, let's talk about signal words. You can think of these as little road signs the author puts inside the text to guide the reader. When you see a word like also or both, your brain should think comparison. When you see however, you know a contrast is coming. And because, that's your big sign for cause and effect. It's like having a map to the author's logic. Now, of course, all this amazing detective work can come to a screeching halt if a student keeps tripping over words they don't know. And that's why the next part of our toolkit is a vocabulary booster pack. This is all about making new words stick. And please, let's move beyond just memorizing definitions from a list. To really own a word, students need to experience it, teach it in the context of the story, use real objects, what teachers call realia. Have them draw the word, act it out, sing a song about it. We've got to create a real connection to the language. And there you have it. Let's just take a step back and look at what we've built. We've gone from physical tools like marking up a text to cognitive strategies like being a text detective, all the way to creative ways to build vocabulary. All these pieces come together to form one heck of a powerful teaching toolkit.
I love this quote because it just nails the mindset shift we're aiming for. Reading is not something that happens to you, it's something you do. It's an active investigation, and you are the lead detective on the case.
So what does all this mean? It means you now have a whole set of tools to empower your students. You can help them move beyond just being passive decoders of words and turn them into active, engaged, critical thinkers. And that is an incredible gift.
So as we wrap up, the final question really is for you. As you look at this whole toolkit, the annotation symbols, the detective strategies, the vocabulary boosters, which one are you excited to try out first in your classroom? Which tool will you use first? Thanks so much for joining me.